Hello everyone, welcome back to e-learning. So we on the last section for natural sciences for term 1, and that is human reproduction. So reproduction basically occurs when the body reaches sexual maturity. At this stage is called puberty. And the definition of puberty is when the body changes from childhood to adulthood and a person becomes capable of having children. So your sexual organs grow and you go through physical and emotional changes. These are controlled by hormones. Now, hormones are chemicals made of special organs called glands, and they send messages to different parts of your body to help it grow and function. For girls, puberty occurs between 10 and 17 years of age, and for boys, between 12 and 18 years of age. Obviously, sometimes it will be a little bit earlier for both boys and girls. Now, during puberty, both boys and girls are able to reproduce. Right. The moment you get your period for girls, you are capable of having a child. And for boys, the moment you have a wet dream, you are also capable of fathering a child. And that's very serious, and you need to know that. Now, the physical changes that occurs for both males and females are growth spurt, hair growth, reproductive organs, skin, voice, and obviously other things. For males, your shoulders broaden and your muscles develop. You develop facial hair under your arm, your chest, and pubic hair. Your penis grows larger and thicker, and your scrotum enlarges. Your skin may become oily, and here is when you'll need to get some skincare routine where you'll need to buy Clearasil or something and wash your face both morning and evening with it. Your voice cracks and it becomes deeper. Sometimes erection occurs during the night, and that's when you will get a wet dream, and that's when you're regarded as a man. For females, your hips widen, your overall height increases, your underarm hair grows as well as pubic hair. Your breasts enlarge and your menstrual period begins. That's when you start producing eggs. Your skin may become oily, and here's good skin retain a routine program would help you control your oily skin. Your voice may become slightly larger. Right. Now, human reproductive organs, you have a male reproductive organ and a female reproductive organ. And both these reproductive organs are needed to make a baby. Now, the male reproductive organ includes the penis and two testes. It has a foreskin and it protects your penis. The penis contains special tissues that have many spaces that are filled with blood, and this causes an erection. An erection is needed for the penis to enter the vagina and transfer the sperm through sexual intercourse. The testes are held in a sac outside the body called the scrotum. These produce sperm cells, which are carried in a special fluid called semen. During intercourse, the semen is transferred into the vagina. Now, the female reproductive organ. The reproductive organ includes the vagina, ovaries, and the uterus. The vagina is a passage where sperm is deposited during sexual intercourse. Here, the two ovaries during the female called the female sex cells called the ova are in the fallopian tube and they enter the fallopian. They are connected. So my apologies. The fallopian tubes connect the ovaries to the uterus and carry the ova. The uterus is a basically pear-shaped where the baby develops, and this is the lower part of the uterus, right? Now, this is a picture of the male reproductive organ and the female reproductive organ. You can see the uterus is at the center. You get the fallopian tubes that thicken when you get your period, and your eggs are deposited out, and it comes out through your vagina, and that is how your period is formed. This is your penis with your scrotum and your testes. And the penis normally enters your vagina and deposits the sperm, and it goes and it fertilizes your eggs through the fallopian tubes. Okay. Now, important note is to not experiment. I know that many of you are young teenagers, you're curious about sex and you want to experiment, but early sexual activity can have serious consequences. For example, because your body is not ready to have a baby, it is going to cause pregnancy, and also your mind is not ready to have a child. It also spreads sexually transmitted diseases, which is called STDs. Emotional stress and changes relationships between your friends and your family. When you have sex too early, it causes emotional stress, and that's going to change your relationship also with your partner. Many responsible choices help to protect your health and your future. For example, the most responsible choice you can make is abstinence. Choose not to have sex because it prevents pregnancy and it prevents STDs. STDs cause permanent problems, especially when you grow older. For example, even if you attract or get herpes, even though it may be cured when you are younger, you will not father or mother children when you are older. Rather, talk to trusted adults about questions and your worries. Learn about healthy relationships, respect, and consent. Develop relationships when you are old enough to get married, and then you may engage in sexual activity after you get married. Right. The menstrual cycle begins when you are capable of having children. It's a 28-day cycle and it lasts between 5 to 7 days. It's normally called period. The female sex cells, which is the egg or the ovum, is not fertilized. So the lining of the uterus, that is the bloody and the spongy tissues, basically break down and it leaves through your vagina. Your the layer of the uterus thickens and um, let me start again. When menstruation occurs, the uterus grows a new thick layer of tissues and blood to prepare for the fertilized eggs. So what happens when your eggs are not fertilized? This layer breaks down and it comes out in the form of blood. Fertilization and pregnancy. During sexual intercourse, semen is released into the vagina. This swims to the uterus into the fallopian tubes where they meet the egg. Fertilization occurs when the sperm fuses with the ovum. After fertilization, the fertilized zygote attaches to the lining of the uterus where it goes into the center, it nourishes and it is fed through whatever the parents eat or the mother eats. Always remember, when you grow older, always eat healthy. Do not smoke, do not drink, do not take medication that is not prescribed by a doctor, because it goes into your child. Right. When the female is pregnant, the zygote begins to develop into an embryo. Contraception is not always 100%, even though if you take birth control or if you take condoms, condoms burst, it is not 100% safe. So remember, abstinence, that is choosing not to have sex, is a safest method to prevent pregnancy and STDs. Sexually transmitted diseases are transferred from one person to another during sexual activity. They can spread through blood, semen, and vaginal fluids. It is difficult to know if you contracted STDs, so rather protect yourself through abstinence. Use condoms correctly and abstain from sexual activity. Examples of STDs are HIV, syphilis, gonorrhea, and herpes. STDs must be treated immediately. They cause severe pain and long-term health problems. STDs can also increase the risk of cancer. There are myths of contraception and sex and menstruation. The myths I'm going to go through: women cannot fall pregnant at the first time when she has sex. This is not true. She can. Women cannot fall pregnant during her period. She definitely can. Washing yourself 6 times can prevent pregnancy and STDs. This is false. There's no such thing. Contraceptive pills prevent pregnancy from day one. This is not true. Everyone is doing it. Most people lie just to appear cool, to appear to be cool. They are not doing it. Condoms may be reused. It cannot be reused. All contraceptive methods are 100% safe. It is not. The woman is unclean when she is menstruating. There's no such thing. This is a perfect natural process to menstruate. There is no such thing that you are unclean or unfit to do anything. Drinking and drugs make sex fun. That is totally untrue, because it just makes you delusional and you don't know what you're doing. And sometimes when you take drugs and you're drinking, people can rape you, both male and female. So don't do that. Now we come to variation. Variation refers to differences between individuals of the same species. This is both for humans and for plants and animals. Okay, a species is a group of organisms that are similar and have shared common characteristics. Um, Organisms of the same species reproduce, and their offspring are similar. Now, I did this variation with the plants species. Now, human variation depends on eye color, skin, hair type, your hair color, your height, weight, your nose, and your ear size. This all depends on your parents, okay? And this is where it comes to heredity. Your characteristics of your parents are transferred to your children. So you have inherited characteristics from your parents. So, for example, if your mother has blue eyes, then sometimes your children have blue eyes as well. Also skips generations. If you have dimples, then your parents probably have dimples. So during reproduction, the sperm carries characteristics from the father's side, and the ovum, which is from the mother's side, they carry their characteristics. They both fertilize the eggs, and your traits, your you get inherited traits from both your parents. Okay. Now, you have a species is a group of living organisms that are similar and can reproduce with one another. Living things of the same type belong to the same species, and this is variation. So you have Homo sapiens that is repeated, and I said that variation occurs through height, eye color, skin color, your tongue, and your hair color. And variation makes individuals unique. They help species survive during the environmental changes, and also some individuals may be better adapted with certain conditions. Like things for you to remember is species variation, inherited, and characteristics. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope you studying and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye everyone.